proposed, some that are underway. Is that correct to assume that? Trustee Clerk?
Frankly, I don't know. It wasn't part of our discussion. And I'm looking around the room and I'm not sure that anybody does know for certain if and when that was approved by the board. We may be getting some information now. But if there was the feeling of the board that they didn't want to proceed with an addition and a technology addition to South Lincoln High School, then at this time, maybe you could just ask that no work be done over the summer. Jane, do you have pertinent information?
I do. When approval was asked for, it was asked for 2 years. So Sir Winston is 2009-10, and that was approved through program and planning. But South Lincoln was not. It's for 2010-11, and all we did was ask for approval to transfer the money from reserve. That does not mean the project is going ahead right now.
Vice Chair.
It does, but it makes me have it creates another question. I'm just curious again on the timeline. When I look at on 202, so Superintendent Jane Rose reported approval has been. So that's good news. I understand that. But now I'm hearing that we've just reported it's good news to go ahead, but you're telling me that Orchard Park is already happening. So we're going to do it anyway and then hoping that money would come afterwards? Because I just heard Orchard Park is already...
Orchard Park was approved on a previous, but I know that the money has been moved over. Jane, can you?
Orchard Park was approved earlier and we are going ahead with it. The good news is, and so we've asked for permission to transfer the money from reserves. The good news is through the capital priorities template, the ministry approved that. So we're going to get the money, we're going to get $2.7 million from the ministry for this, and we will not need to transfer that money from reserves.
Are there any more questions on, or comments on that section? Trustee Lemon.
Thank you, Chair Mapes. I don't want to talk about page 202. I kind of wanted to go further with the conversation about Sir Winston and the comments that Trustee Tamac made. I was hoping that we could actually delay the assignment of architect at this time, go ahead with the rest, but delay the idea of the assignment of the architect at this time, so we could actually know what our future really is and have clarity of it. And his suggestion of moving a program was just one suggestion. Maybe if we gave it some thought, now that that suggestion has been offered, it might give us an opportunity to actually feel maybe a better sense of how we can actually incorporate a school without overwhelming population or bursting population. Maybe work towards our numbers in a better way as we see enrollment take effect the 1st of September. Thank you, Chair Mays.
Thank you, Trustee Lemon. Trustee Clark.
Well, I guess, Mr. Chair, we're getting into a point where we're asking to reconsider a board decision again. I can't recall when that specific decision was made, but it certainly wasn't 4 months ago. It was within the last month or two that we made the decision that we would go ahead. We had a debate on it. We made the decision that we'd go ahead. And so, I don't know, I guess if it was the wish of 2/3 of the board that we not go ahead at this point, then we could reconsider that. But the board has decided that they want to do this at Sir Winston Churchill. We're suggesting that it's time to appoint an architect. Now, we have 2 members of the board wanting to revisit that decision, but I think we can't revisit it on the say-so of 2 members of the board. I believe I don't know under what circumstances it can be reconsidered. Can it be reconsidered at any meeting when it's brought up by 2/3 the board, or does it have to be 100% of the board?
I think the director would like to comment.
My only comment is that you have a motion on the board, and if the trustees don't vote for it or convince the majority of the board not to vote for approval of the architect, then we won't approve it. But if they do approve it, then we move forward with it.
Trustee Tamnick.
I think it's all a matter of the timing of the project. Like, these other three architects are approved and you're going to be doing the work right now, but there were some other factors that may be involved in the one for Sir Winston Churchill, that the timing to have the architect begin work now and make those expenditures might be a little earlier than we might consider reasonable at this time. Come the 1st of October, what's the difference if you start with the architect in that month instead of through the summer?
Amelia, question?
Comment. In regards to Sir Winston Churchill, I've been a student there for 4 years, and we need the extra we need to change our cafeteria. We're a school that has 3 lunches because our students can be accommodated at the same time. And normally we are over the fire regulations because there are too many students. None of us can all eat in the cafeteria at one time. We're always in the hallways. Like, no one is able to eat in the cafeteria together. And it's something that most students have the opportunity to have at most schools. And it's something that has been an issue at Sir Winston for not just this year, but for a long time. So in regards to the larger cafeteria, I think it would be helpful for Sir Winston.
Thank you. Trustee Tamnick.
When I taught at West Plains Secondary School a number of years ago, we reached a population of 1,200 at one time, and we had staggered lunch periods in the cafeteria in order to be able to accommodate our students.
Trustee Clark.
Perhaps I'd like to go through this and we'll vote on each. Let's split the various motions, vote on each one as we go, and then we can get on and then we'll deal with the budget last if we may. And so I would call the question on the architect appointment on the various projects, including Sir Winston, Parliament Oak, Pine Grove Public School, and renovations to John Marshall School. Oh, or if you want to break it up even further, we could vote on. Well, let's begin. I would call the question on McDonald Zubrick Enslin Architects Inc. be appointed architects to the cafeteria addition and accessibility improvements to Sir Winston Churchill Secondary School project. I would call the question.
All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Opposed? 2. Okay, that's carried. Thank you.
Could we now vote on the other 3 architect appointments, Parliament Oak Public School, Pine Grove Public School, and John Marshall Public School? I would call the question.
Okay. If there's no objection to calling those in a group, then make that motion. We'll call the question. All those in favor?